This is TNT News. From every corner in Ladywood, we're bringing you the latest news.
This is Tonight in Ladywood.
Hello and welcome to the new look Tonight in Ladywood. I'm Alex Pulowski.
And I'm Lakeisha Beswick. First tonight, as we open the new year, we have a new shopping centre, which opened on the 6th of December in Spring Hill.
We have this report from Helen Street. Not Ellen Street, but Helen Street.
Tesco opened by giving a £1,000 cheque to a local community group, the Ladywood Furniture Project. Then everyone went to have a look around at the new store, which had opened at long last next to Spring Hill Library. Beneath it is a large car park and customers use a flat escalator to get to the shopping floor. Early customers were treated to some birthday cake and we went with a trolley cam for a look around. We asked some people what they think of it.
They pay for the residents and the local people what they bring here.
I like it. I think it's great. I think it's what the community needed. It's quite dandy for me down in living over the road now. And trouble is walking around finding where everything is. It's only that the pharmacy has set up a prescription collection and delivery service. It saves me a lot of time actually, that I don't have to travel all the way to 5 Ways and back.
The new building replaced the old Brookfield shopping centre, which in turn had replaced a street that was once a thriving shopping centre. Meanwhile, a lift is being built into the back of the library and that building is currently closed for refurbishment, but should be reopening at the end of February. Lakeisha Beswick, TNT News, Spring Hill.
And now over to Cameron for some news in brief.
This is the view from the TNT window on the 21st December. This was a rush hour with a difference. With hardly any traffic, Spring Hill is usually very busy at that time of day, but many people stayed at home or finished early for Christmas. The views were great for those who didn't have to travel. Off the Middleway and at Jewellery Quarter, the scenes were much the same, and it was all white in the light. For those who did walk, the canals were a picturesque sight, and it was one of the coldest Decembers on record. Jockey Morris, TNT News.
Isn't it amazing how quickly things change? It only seems 5 minutes since Victoria Square looked like this. Well, so I'm told anyway, because this was 3 years before I was born. Now, 17 years on, the fountain has undergone major restoration and the water is now flowing once again. TNT went to investigate.
Here underground is where no member of the public can usually go, but TNT have been able to get in. There are 4 pumps and some art filters which look like eyeballs. The water is filtered through the sand that it is in them, so that it is clean. It then goes back up these tubes into the upper pool.
It's a bit noisy in here, so we're going to talk to Chris outside. This is Chris who's going to tell us about the fountain.
Over the last few years, because it's getting on a bit, it started to leak. And so, the City Council took the decision, well, we've got to do something around this, so and then completely digging it all up, fixing the leaks, putting new lights in, and opening it up. And here we are.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah, the new lights are very good. They're called LEDs, and they use far less electricity than traditional lights. And also, they never need their bulb. They don't need their bulbs changing, so they hopefully will last a lifetime. And that's a really good thing because the old electricity used to use a lot of electricity on the old lights.
Is the water recycled, Chris?
Yeah, it is. It's pumped through the pump room, so it goes round and round. Along the way, some of the water evaporates into the air, especially when it comes down these steps. So we lose about 10% of the water through evaporation.
TNT made this exclusive film of the fountain being made in 1992.
The designers took advantage of a natural 4.5 metre slope from the council house to New Street to construct one of the largest fountains in any city centre in Europe. Early excavations centred around the construction of an underground network of pipes to carry the water from the lower to the upper pool, and the basic shape of the two pools was soon visible. The largest pool at the top is 27 metres long, and 3,000 gallons of water per minute would eventually flow through a fountain into the 10 metre wide lower pool. The concrete base was fitted out with 400 metres of fibre optics to light the outline of the fountain's pools. The sculpture, officially called the River, was cast in London.
This is A&A Sculptures in London, where the casts are being made.
Initially, the artist's work was made into this small plaster cast model. This was used as a template for the final full-size version of the goddess, which was later to become officially known as the River, but more commonly known as the Floozie in the Jacuzzi. The dots were drawn to help reproduce the full-scale version to the correct size. Polystyrene was carved and a skin of plaster and grog was modelled to the correct shape. This was then cut up into 35 sections which faced the furnace. But first, each individual section had hot wax poured into it to take in the detail of the surface of the model. It was into this printed wax skin that the bronze was tipped and solidly packed into a sand pit, which held the sections firmly in position. The model was fired in a kiln for 3 days at a temperature of 1200 degrees Celsius. After being cooled, the non-rusting bronze sections were welded together to produce the end result, which became the centrepiece of the square.
Now for something completely different. Last weekend, Morris Dancers met at St. Martin's Church in the Bull Ring for a traditional ceremony to bless their ploughs. The story goes that crops would be plentiful if the ploughs were blessed. An early kind of trick-or-treat once existed when ploughboys took their ploughs around the streets in hope of being given treats. If some kind of treat wasn't given, they would run their ploughs across the unkind person's land. You'd be given an Asbo for that today. A local reminder of agricultural days is to be found in the name of the local pub, the Plough and Harrow.
There's a Christmas party at the Arts and Leisure Centre for the children in Ladywood Ward, and each child met Santa and received a present.
Don't get my nails in, because they're filthy and horrible.
Impression of a pig. After 3, we're going to shout Santa as loud as we can. 1, 2, 3. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Shh. Shout again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, give a round of applause.
Today, the last of 250 bodies will be buried at this cemetery in the presence of the Prince of Wales.
Around 5,500 Australians and 1,500 British were reported killed, wounded or missing in the battles near Fromelles.
Talk us through these medals and where you got them.
Okay, yeah. This one is for Iraq. It's the Iraq medal. And this one is for Kosovo. It's a Kosovo medal. This one is the Victoria Cross, which is which I received for 2 individual acts in Iraq.
He was in a warrior tank like this when it was attacked.
I was excited because I may never see a pub again in my lifetime.
It was really amazing.
It was unbelievable that I got to see the Pope because I will never get to see him in my lifetime again.
It was one of my most favourite time of my life.
It felt like my heart was racing. It was just like a moment I'd never forget.
And he was getting all the flowers off us. It was just amazing. And I was speechless.
I felt very happy when I saw the Pope mobile.
I was like, wow, does a Pope mobile look like that?
I felt like I was going to faint because when he waved at me and he blessed me, and it was an unbelievable moment.
Best bit was when he came over and blessed us.
The day that the Pope came was the best day of my life because I got blessed by the Pope and the whole day was just so surreal.
As you may have noticed, we have a new look studio and it's all to do with green screen technology. You can have any background you want. For instance, here's St John's Traffic Island. I said Traffic Island, not Tropical Island. It's pretty much the same principle used by ITN, and as regular viewers will know, I went there to have a look.
I was lucky enough to be invited to see behind the scenes at ITN Studios in London. Robin Blake's name can be seen on screen at the end of ITN bulletins that he has directed. He presented TNT programmes in the mid-1990s.
Good evening, welcome to the June 1996 edition of Tonight in Ladywood. Good night. TNT was a fantastic project to be involved in 10 years ago. It introduced me to television news, which I'd have never thought about pursuing until I was involved in the project.
Robin worked at Central News before joining ITN as a technical director. I discovered there is not much difference between the TNT studio and ITN studio, apart from thousands of pounds worth of equipment. The news presenters sit in front of a green screen and the familiar backgrounds are generated by computer wizardry. You might think it's easy to read an auto cue, but as I discovered, it is not as easy as it looks. I was constantly being told which camera to turn to and being counted into pieces of film via an earpiece. Also, I had to make sure the auto cue was moving at the right speed. The first British victory of another gold day It was a great experience to see how the professionals work.
Kids of TNT are doing a fantastic job and I'm very proud of them, and I hope that it's as useful for them as it was for me. And finally,
from all the team here tonight at News at 10, good night, and now back to TNT.
That's it from this edition of Tonight in Ladywood, from me, Nikisha and the rest of the team.
Thanks for watching and good night.